My name is Edward Deats, and I was the chief hospital corpsman, E7 on the Nimitz. I got transported on a C-141 in country and arrived in Vietnam. Well, we stopped in Okinawa for a couple of days, and they basically outfitted us with some clothes and stuff, and then we went on to influence to Da Nang, Vietnam, about 2 days later. I get to Vietnam and assigned to 1st Marine Division, and it was interesting because I was there with 2 other corpsmen, and we were standing on the airfield waiting for the chief corpsman and the driver to come down from the Marine Division headquarters. And a 2nd class corpsman walked up to us in his greens, Marine Corps greens, and walks to us and says, "You guys want to live through Vietnam?" And I'm thinking, that's a heck of a question, And we all looked at each other and said, "Well, yeah, that's what we intend to do." He said the senior chief's going to come down from the division, and he's going to ask a volunteer to go to recon, 1st Recon Battalion. And I said, "Why is that?" He said, "Because I'm the one that's leaving, so I need a replacement." And what is the first thing they tell you when you join the service? Do not volunteer for anything. So we waited about another 15 minutes, and here comes the chief. The senior chief's there, and he had a 1st class with him, and he welcomed us to lovely Vietnam. And this was in let's see, September of 1968, and he says, "Guys, I have a couple positions open, but I have one position open that we really look for people to volunteer." And I'm saying, "Oh, here it comes." And he says, "It's with 1st Recon." And I said, "We like to have people volunteer, but I got to fill the billet." And I looked at the other 2 guys, and they're looking at me. I said, "Okay, Chief, you got me." And he said, "Thanks. I really appreciate it, Doc." So we got the other 2 guys, and we jumped in the back of the Jeep. He dropped them off at different Marine units, and he took me down to 1st Recon Battalion headquarters, which happened to be right below the hill of the 1st Marine Division. So you had the Marine Division up on the hill, you had the road, main road, and then Recon was right below it. So I said, "Oh, short trip for you, And he put me into HNS company, introduced me to them, and they assigned me to Bravo company for 1st Recon. It was probably the smartest thing I ever did, because I'm here today. And I had a week's orientation before I actually got to go out in the field with a team. And they allowed me to acclimatize to the conditions, the weather conditions. This is hot, humid, and gave me a little extra training. When I checked this is a funny thing. When I checked into the battalion, they'd send me to Bravo Company. Bravo Company, they gave me a list to check into various places. One of the places I had to check into was the armory. I had to pick up my weapon. So I'm a corpsman. I'm going down and pick up a 45, right? I get down there, 85 sergeants in the armory, and I walk in and I said, "Hey, Sarge, I just, come to Bravo Company and everything," and I said, "I'm looking to get my 45. He looked at me, he said, "Doc, you're not going to get a 45. I said, "Are you going to give me an M14? Because that's what I learned back in FMF school. I learned how with an M14. And he said, "Nope." I said, "Okay, I sure in heck know you're not going to give me a machine gun, or a bazooka, He said, "No, Doc, you're going to get an M16. I said, "Sarge, I never learned it about an M16. What do you mean, no Mattel toys?" He kind of laughed. And he said, "No." He said, he said, "Wait a minute." I went back and he got an M16. And he said, "I'm going to show you how to load it, pick the fire selector, how to change the magazine, safe it, He gave me 12 magazines. And he says, "Doc, you take these down, you turn around, you walk down to the LZ. You go right. On the right-hand side of the LZ, you're going to see a bunker. and that's our shooting bug. That's where we prep out. And he said, you go down there, take all the stances, lay down on the ground, take 10 of the magazines and just shoot off, cock off, rounds, and take all, sit down, do your shoulder, lay down, stand up, whatever you want to do, and shoot off 10 magazines. He said, the last 2 magazines, I want you to shoot on full automatic. He said, I'm going to tell you 2 things. Number 1, you hold down the top of that M16 on the barrel, on the plastic thing. Don't touch the barrel because the barrel is going to be hot. And hold down and and lock it in and fire your magazines off. Don't let it rise up, because if you look up the hill, the first hooch you see up there, that's the sergeant major. If you put rounds in the sergeant major's hooch, he's going to be very upset with you. The next hooch up from that is the colonel's hooch. So whatever ass you got left, the colonel's going to get it if you shoot at it. And I said, no problem, I'm definitely going to shoot. So I fired the 2 automatics, a full automatic, and burned them off. And then I could police the hell. He told me, you police your brass, clean it up, put it in the bucket there, come back. Well, I could walk back up the hill, and I take my weapon and I hand it to him. And he goes, I said, okay, what do we do now? Doc, we're going to clean that weapon. So he took the next hour and a half, and we broke down M16, and he showed me how to clean that weapon. He showed me how to take the receiver apart, which the grunts don't really do, and how to clean. He said, you'll never have misfire or jam if you take care of your weapon. The whole year, never had. That was my first introduction to the recon.